Have you ever felt that got up on the wrong side of the bed kind of feeling? I didn't feel like that this morning. I actually woke up at 4:30 feeling ready to go. I was awake and wanting to start my day, and I decided to do a longer meditation than I normally would. So I spent an hour and a half in meditation today, first listening to some channeled messages and then having it be guided and going into a deep space within, and then ended up falling back asleep and then got up and listened to the cosmic energy report and did my qigong practice and felt pretty good about the way that I was starting the day and leaning into that and allowing that rest time and that connection time, setting some intention, reflecting on what the energies were today and doing some physical exercise, had a good breakfast, feeling pretty good. And then I met with someone online and it didn't feel quite right. It didn't feel good. And it was almost like a inner conflict, I guess I had in how the conversation was going. We didn't quite connect in the way that I had hoped, and maybe I didn't really have any real expectations about how that was going to look today. And I left feeling kind of defeated and depleted by it. And I thought, well, I started the day off really well, and then this happened. So why all of a sudden am I feeling this low kind of energy, this low vibration when I started the day off right? And this is what I find is happening with morning routines. You know, you set a good tone, you have a good intention of how you want to start the day and what you're going to attract into it. And there could be something that kind of throws you off balance. Or so I thought. And then reflecting on that, I realized it's not so much about failing in that contact. It was more like when you're in a space of consciousness, you begin to recognize more and more what's in alignment and what's not in alignment. And so it's not like there's anything wrong per se. We just happen to be so much more aware when something's not in alignment. And that can feel different. And it might feel a little bit confusing at first until we start noticing that that's just a practice of discernment, but recognizing what's true for us rather than, overthinking something and thinking that a need wasn't met, or maybe we didn't present ourselves in the best way, or that we had to explain something differently, or that we had to prove something or justify something to someone. Have you ever experienced that where a conversation just kind of left you feeling unresolved, unfinished in that conversation and with that person? And there's just this conversation that continues in your own head as we overthink that and wonder what could have been better, why is this not feeling quite right? And that's just part of our conscious evolution, recognizing more and more what's in and out of alignment and spending more time with the people that you feel supported by in terms of what your values are and how you are received by them and how you receive them as well, and not making yourself feel any less than because maybe they weren't impressed by you, right, in some way. It's more about connection rather than trying to impress somebody. And sometimes we work so hard in trying to show ourselves in the best light and want people to see that. And when they don't, it can be a little disconcerting. Recognize and trust in your own ability and what you're doing and in your purpose. That is true alignment. It's the inner transformation that happens in recognizing what is right and true for you and not letting anyone on the outside influence that in any way whatsoever. And quite often, the other person might not even be thinking that anything was wrong, right? It was just ourselves, our filters, and what we've kind of been conditioned or programmed to think about ourselves. That can also be at play there. So just notice when things aren't feeling quite right and look to the source of that. Is there a belief that's lying underneath that? Is there something that is out of alignment, perhaps? And any kind of rejection is redirection. It's just moving you onto the path the people, the places, and things that are most engaging for you, that would elevate you and help you further embody your full potential. And this is how we incorporate and move into and evolve with an integrated higher consciousness model of living. So I'd love to hear what your thoughts and feelings and experiences are around this. You can comment below. And if you think this is some useful messaging that would support someone that's overthinking something or kind of gets down on themselves so easily, sometimes that can happen to us empaths, where we feel things so deeply and we care so much about everyone we come into contact with. We want there to be goodness between us, right? No conflict. And so it can be a hard thing to reconcile what those thoughts and feelings and beliefs actually are. So I'm here to support you in that. You can leave a message for me or up below, and I will definitely take a look at that. And join me again next week for Awaken and Ascend. Actually, next Wednesday is Christmas Day, isn't it? You know what? I think I'll take that day off. So we'll see you in 2 weeks on Awaken and Ascend. Bye for now.